Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to another recording session of Hearthstone. So, we've got Win 5 Tavern Brawls as one of our quests. That's not gonna work because right now the Tavern Brawl is the Heroic Tavern Brawl that ends in 3 days. So, even if I was going to try to do this, I would have to spend 5,000 gold to enter the 5 tournaments, then win. No, I guess I could enter one for 1,000 and try to win 5 games in that Tavern Brawl, and I assume that would work just fine. But I am certainly not going to do that, so we're trading off of that character. 1 second, I have to cough. Yeah, that's good production of video right there. A lot of voice actors and actors force themselves to cough before they start recording. I sometimes do that, but not always. Anyways, play 30 warrior class cards, play 50 shaman class cards, play 20 beasts. We've got a lot to do. We're starting late. I did the Tavern Brawl as its own video. I also bought 10 card packs at the end of that of classic cards just for fun. So now I'm down to 6,850 gold. 5,000 of that will be spent when the expansion happens, which is about a month away from where I am right now. So I need to build up my gold savings again, but let's hop into a game. I guess we'll just start with Warrior. The new way of doing things is a problem. Standard Warrior, ranked, play. Might as well. It is definitely a big problem because it means, as I'm trying to pick up my list of things to talk about, that would really suck if I dropped it and erased it, because I have a full list here, even though I probably wrote too big on most of it. It almost is a complete argument that I'm going to have to make a set of cards that are only warrior cards for the warrior and no common cards. Like, common cards are going to be heavily devalued as far as trying to get quests done. They will maintain their same value, I suppose, as far as how useful the cards are. This also kind of hurts the idea of ever being able to make a deck that's just all common cards. So a Murloc deck, for example, almost all Murloc cards are common cards, neutral cards. I mean neutral, not common. Deal 1 damage to a minion. Wait a turn there. So I did the Heroic Tavern Brawl, pay 1,000 gold or $10. 3 strikes, you're out. You set up a standard deck, and that standard deck then I should have played this one instead. That was a bad mistake. Whatever. Once you make your standard deck, it's locked in for the potential 12 games you're going to play, unless you get 3 strikes, you're out. I immediately got 3 strikes and I was out. I knew it was going to happen. I said it at the beginning. One of the people that commented on this video, which this video is doing excellent, so I am very happy with it, even if it is kind of an awkward thing to be to be happy about wasting 1,000 gold and losing. I still was able to make a almost 50-minute recording, which people are actually watching a lot more. So my watch time has jumped way up. I've gotten over 1,000 views now in less than 48 hours, or maybe slightly more than 48 hours. So I'm super happy with it. Hopefully this is the beginning of some great stuff, and you will find that all of my videos get more views now. They get put in front of more people's eyes. I get more subscribers. I get more loyal subscribers who actually watch it. But like, so I'm very happy with it. But the very first comment that came in and then either got flagged for abuse by somebody else or just by an automated system or something. The guy said, like, let's see if I can remember all of it. He goes, warning to all viewers, the salt begins at about 22 minutes. Now, first argument I would make, I think I started being salty at the very beginning when I told them straight up I was probably going to lose for 3 of it. That being said, it is a very valid argument. I am super salty about Hearthstone after playing it for 2 years and not really being any better at the game, and really sucking at it and getting no training and no help. And the Heroic Tavern Brawl, as we talk about it some more, is going to be an excellent example of this, because it really is just there to screw people out of money. Even from one of the other comments that was made, they said that to be a pro Hearthstone player, you have to get an average, maintain a win percentage of 58%. To break even on the Heroic Tavern Brawl, you have to make 66%. So even 8% of the pro players, in theory, are going to get, are probably not going to even make their money back. And that's ridiculous. But I just looked at an article with Eurogamer. They had 3 people play it, and one person got 1 victory, one person got 2 victories, one person got 3 victories. I thought maybe I'd get 3 victories if I got really lucky. Nowhere near the 12 victories. So I got 1 card pack for it. And it was Whisper of the Old Gods card pack too. Not even what I'd probably want. But let's get back to the first comment. The salt begins at 22 minutes. Arguably, I started earlier than that. This when he says this is what's wrong with the game. Literally, I have said that many times. So he's not misquoting me at all. In fact, almost everything he said, if not everything he said, now that I'm thinking about it, I think everything he actually said was true. So I actually tried to respond to him and go, I don't know if he saw it or if he blocked my channel and that's why his comment disappeared or what, but he was right, and definitely I am upset, and that is what's wrong with the game, is that most players don't have a high win ratio. The game doesn't train players to be better players. And 2 years in, Hearthstone hasn't lifted a finger to do anything to make me feel like I am a 2-year vet of playing Hearthstone. Instead, it wastes its energy, or spends its time trying to get me to pay $10 here and $10 there and $10 everywhere. And that's frustrating. Let's see, how about this? And then we do this. This.
No problem.
Let's see. So, yeah, did he say anything else? At the end of the thing, this guy's he said this guy is a real loser, and I imagine that's what got it flagged, is just abusive. Frankly, not really that hostile. Anyways, because I literally, in the true sense of the word literal, am a loser. I lost. I totally lost. Everybody loses in Hearthstone. So, it doesn't really hurt my feelings. I'm a little bit older, I'm a little bit more mature than a lot of people on YouTube, I would say, just in a general guesstimation. I'm also very bad with facts and guesstimations. Like I said in that video that I thought it took 50 packs until you got a legendary, and somebody came back and said no, actually it's only 20 packs or something like that. Even now I can't remember the numbers, so I'm always gonna be bad about that.
But of course.
Let's get this
Oh, bother.
and then
Tonight,
this.
a tale of terrible tragedy. Ready to flee. Job done.
So, like, he's not wrong. He was a little harsh, but he wasn't wrong. I'm a loser, and it doesn't bother me if people call me losers. Particularly YouTube people. People don't know me. And I've been called a lot worse by people whose opinions I did care about and did come to respect. But if some random person on the street came up to me and said something nasty about me, I would just assume that they're crazy or blow it off in some other way. And so that's not going to work, particularly for me. You're not going to hurt my feelings. That's one of the issues with like Craner flipping out, and so many other YouTuber people flipping out, going, "Oh, the meanness on YouTube. YouTube is garbage as far as comments. You should know that going in. So it's gonna be hostile. It's fine. Half of it is not even real people, or just a bunch of little like angsty teenagers or something like that. It doesn't matter. I'm much more. I am way happier that. I'm way happier that that guy took the time to watch my video for till 20 minutes, which is a good watch time for me. I'm way happier that he took the time to write a comment, which I don't get a lot of comments, so I'm not upset about that anyway.
I have
now,
no time for games.
Maybe I've matured even a little bit more since even starting my thing, because I think there have been a couple of times where I have deleted or flagged people's comments because they just said something kind of pointless, like "you suck" or something like that. Well, it was just not informative, and I don't even think I'd bother doing that now. I just don't think it's important or worth it. I'm gonna lose.
All upon us.
So yeah, I didn't flag his thing. If I could have done anything to allow his video, it doesn't seem like YouTube allows you to, is giving me any options to it, to allow his comments. That's fine. Other people commented. Somebody said you're a noob, and I'm like, yes, I am. Even 2 years after playing the game, I'm a noob. Fine, it's true. For however you define noob, I probably am still at this game, and I just turn that around and blame Hearthstone for not training you. I mean, imagine playing a game for 2 years and still not knowing how to play it right. That's what it is. I mean, you don't have to imagine it. That's what's happening here right now. Sure, I'm a little distracted. Sure, I'm talking about other things, but I still don't really know what I did wrong in this hand or in this deck that caused me to lose. No clue. And so I just have to move on. I just have to keep trying to get the dumb quest done to keep this going. And the fact that my Heroic Tavern Brawl got 1,000 views just more solidifies that I should continue to play Hearthstone. Until people are no longer interested in watching my Hearthstone videos. Or I'm getting 1,000 views on all my videos and Hearthstone's getting less than 1,000. Until something like that happens, it's a big money maker for me. And just simply made. Now, big money to me may only be like 50 cents at 1,000 views. But for me, that's big money, and so that's something I can't ignore. So Hearthstone stays. Now, at this point, I think I'm going to announce I'm going to change the Lego series a little bit and start putting other kids' series in there. I've got some humongous games, I've got some Disney games, I've got a couple other independent games that I'm going to try to start squeezing in there. The reason for that simply is that I've run out of Lego games, pretty much. I have a Pirates of the Caribbean that I want to play when the Pirates of the Caribbean movie comes out. I have a Indiana Jones that I want to play when the Indiana Jones fifth movie comes out. And not a lot much more after that. Let's see.
It's time for a little blood.
Job's done.
Get down!
So yeah, I kind of need to stretch for those Lego games. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to stretch that long.
Reporting for duty.
We're definitely going to rush for that. Moving on to the next thing we'll talk about. So in Watch Dogs 2, for some insane reason, there is several instances of nude characters, non-playable characters. There's like a nudist facility.
Light.
There's a guy that's naked, just peeing in an alley. And apparently nobody cared about any of that. And in the news column there was a like fully nude woman hula hooping. There was a topless woman hula hooping. And I think there was a guy maybe in there, maybe not. So this stuff was there to begin with. I guess I have to play this. But then they found that if you happen to have an explosion occur or some other way knock down this what seemed to be fully clothed, and I suppose technically actually was fully clothed woman, that you could then look up her skirt when she's knocked down and see that she's wearing some crotchless panties, and there's a more detailed rendering of her vulva, to get to the medical terms. And everybody says vagina, and I always have to get on this thing. It's like, I have some medical knowledge, and no, unless you have a speculum, which, if you don't know what that is, it's the metal thing that looks like a duck's beak. You're not going to see a vagina, pretty much. And I'm going to stop using these words, but the vagina is the inside part, the vulva is the outside part. It includes several other things that are all
None may
in
steal
that
our
area.
secrets.
Reporting for duty.
So it's that was found. It was shared through Sony's PSN. The person got in trouble for sharing it on the PSN, which is completely ridiculous considering the game was allowed to have it. But I assume
me killed?
in part Sony didn't know it was in the game, but they had to know it. As far as the rating system and everything, nothing's really been violated here. It's not like, I don't think there's any grounds where the ESRB would come back and say this should be an adults only game because it had one more instance of things we already knew about. Because there was already nudity, and there was a fully nude woman already. It's just that they had perhaps strategically placed hair on that lady, or in some way, in some other fashion, obscured it. And so then Ubisoft, kind of being the only people besides Sony that even cared about this, because there really wasn't much of a story here. It's getting talked about on video game journalism, but this is hardly the times of Nancy Reagan and or the comic books code or comic book authority from long time ago. It's like, there's no argument that can be made here that this rated mature game, Watch Dogs 2, is somehow corrupting the youth when the youth weren't supposed to play it in the first place. But Ubisoft said they were going to censor out that one specific model and nothing else. And then it kind of gets into this weird thing. It's like, wait a minute, why are you only censoring out and patching out that one instance when there's instance of a guy whose his penis is fully shown in there, his behind is fully shown in the game, and yet there's no comment. This is really stupid that any of this is in the game. I mean, they've literally just made trouble for themselves, and it's just like a waste of your energy. And waste of press resources and time on Ubisoft. I mean, literally all you have to say is no. Just, we're not going to have any nudity in this game, or say yes, we're going to have nudity and we're not going to care. And you can go either way with that. You can go Witcher 3 route with it, which Witcher 3, I don't know if it ever explicitly showed the lower genitalia of any of the women there, but I'm pretty sure it had sex scenes that I avoided and didn't see. And there's certainly a torture scene of a naked woman, and there was a complete scene of a naked person who had been murdered.
You can see a new position.
So, ooh, bro, why would I play that?
Feel my pain.
Kill them all!
So, yeah, CD Projekt Red just said we're gonna do it, and we don't care. That's fine. The difference, I think, a lot of the problem with the Watch Dogs 2 versus Witcher 3, though, is the Witcher 3 is an actually mature game. Where, and by actually mature, I don't mean it's pornographic or anything like that. I mean it's mature in the storyline. It is mature in its romances. It's not just, hey, let's go hook up. It's like, these were real romances that you had to work with, real conversations were had. When people were naked, there was a real weight to it. Here in Watch Dogs 2, it's just there for stupid silliness and could easily have been cut.
You asked for it.
And it would have been a little bit harder to cut the nude scenes in Witcher. Not impossible though. Actually, a patch to blur everything out solves everything. I think you probably just need to do that. Even if you're fine with it, just say, look, here's a patch. Well, by default, not install this. Consider it a mod. Maybe on the console versions, we'll offer it like DLC. And all it does is it just adds blur.
Job's done.
It changes the textures on those things and adds blur or adds a bikini or something else like that. So there's a big double standard there that they're implying, and there in society is a big double standard there too. It's probably not the biggest issue in the world, and frankly, I'm not sure if it specifically comes from any specific gender or culture. I wouldn't be surprised if half of the guys have that feeling and half of the girls have that feeling, and it is definitely cultural, because certainly in other countries that people wouldn't even care at all. But it's mostly the United States and their conservative puritanical values, their history of that makes it weird. There really is nothing to say about it. It's really just brought up because haha hee hee hee. There's a game in which you can see this girl's pee-pee, I guess. Sorry for rhyming. This woman's pee-pee, I guess. Let's be clear here. This is a 3D model of an adult woman, as far as I saw. Yeah, that would be a big issue. There is some argument that if you exclude all of the adult sex games, this might be the first instance of a detailed rendering of that in a game. One of the ironies here would be, it would really suck if somebody actually was the model for that. If some animator either modeled herself or modeled their friend, and then there was just this level of rejection there. No, that has to be censored out. It's like, no, I spent time on that. Somebody obviously spent time on that, and that's the dumbest part. It's like, where are your managers? How do you write on your time sheet, this week I will be 3D modeling a vulva? How do you get that far? Even if you're working as a middleware person, unless you're making a sex game, that's it. And then that is the other thing, is like, it's only an issue at all when you exclude all the sex games out. If you include all the sex games, you're like, well, this is probably the least focused upon rendering, and a total tame depiction compared to all the sex games. So let's compare reality to reality. This isn't most definitely not the first time we've had a rendering like that, and it most definitely won't be the last time. And it gets back to the bigger thought that I feel like Steam at some point is gonna either they've started to allow more of that, and I bet that there is in a couple of years a Steam adults only section completely. There is a competitor to Steam that's already focused on it, so it is possible that it just stays with that competitor, but I wouldn't be surprised if Steam gets in that business too. Moving on. Went wrong. Let's see. Zelda Breath of the Wild will miss the Switch launch. So Anybody holding their breath for Breath of the Wild should stop because you're going to die. Better that the game is good, I suppose, but there is problems, definitely. Here. There's definitely a problem with the Switch now not having a good launch lineup, and they kind of felt like they were just throwing the Switch out there too early anyways. Let's see, we're at 30 minutes already. Do I want to do one more? Let's see. I guess I don't. I guess we'll try to make maybe even 4. Yeah, we've got more work to do. I need to play Shaman cards too. So I'm going to end this recording here. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. Now, I know my ending is bad. I ask way too much, and I need to rethink it, and I need to lower it down. But I don't want to become one of these YouTubers that all throughout the videos are like constantly saying, leave me a comment down below what you think about that. Let me know what you're thinking. Hey, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Hey, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Again, Craner, I hate to keep dogpiling him, but he is terrible about it. Starts most of his videos these days with, get me to 2 million by the end of the year. Make sure you like and turn on the notifications so you're part of the notification squad. And then in the middle of this video, at least once, if not 3 or 4 times, he'll say, leave me a comment down below. And then he'll probably say something at the end too. So he's pretty bad about it. But I'm doing even worse, aren't I? Because I'm just sticking it all at the end. Like, and then I'm asking for donations, which still no donations have come through, which is not surprising. But yep, you can make donations by going to my main YouTube page on the right, this blue button. And then I ask everybody to friend and follow me on all the social links like Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, and Battle.net. All that down below at the bottom too. So I need to get rid of half of that stuff, but I can't. I just don't feel like I can not mention it at the end. So instead of wrapping up and saying all that again, instead I just talked about it, I'm just going to say thanks for watching. Have a good evening.